would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which I live, the land of the Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nations. I would also like to acknowledge the lands of other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities that are among us today. I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging and acknowledge their ancestral tie with the land. I acknowledge their sovereignty has never been ceded and that Australia was founded on dispossession and genocide of our First Nations people, and I say sorry. I would like to honour the beautiful saltwater waterways that surround us and the local flora and fauna, providing our community with a sense of connection and calmness. I acknowledge the tea trees that run along the coastline, protecting us from large swelling winds. I honour Bunjil, the creator and spiritual leader, whose protection has assisted in reflection of the ways in which we currently care for our land and waterways. My presentation is on My Stolen Childhood and A Life to Rebuild by Sheila Humphreys. Sheila is a Noongar elder who has a story that is hard to fathom. I made the time to listen to the story when the house was quiet. I sat on my comfortable reading chair. I listened to the nature around me. The birds were chirping. The wind was making noises against the roof of the house and through the trees. I was in a position that I could look out to the sea when I needed a break. As I watched the video, I was fully focused. I gave the video my full attention. My phone was put away. There was no distractions. I was fully present. With empathy and understanding, I attempted to understand the deeply traumatic and unjust treatment that our First Nations children and their families endured. I found myself deeply affected and unable to fully grasp the enormity of their trauma. I needed to step back for my own health and well-being, and at this moment I realised that those children didn't have the privilege of stepping back, taking time out from the trauma. It was their everyday hell with no escape, and for some continues to be to this day. When Sheila gave birth to her twins, she was seen as unable to care for her babies. She was facing the threat of the third generation of her family being stolen. My heart broke for her. I wondered how she endured so much pain, heartache, horrors, and how resilient she is to turn her life around, and her ambition to help others. A truly remarkable woman. Whilst I have not endured the same atrocities that Sheila has experienced, I can connect with parts of her story and the fear, isolation, loneliness, questioning your place and self. You see, I lived out of home from the age of 15. I lived in refuges and anywhere that I could get a bed. I had a baby just after my 17th birthday, and there were questions around my ability to look after my child. This trauma can be bottled up and resurface at a later stage in life, affecting relationships, work, and every aspect of life. Substance abuse can dull this trauma, and in some people is the only way to survive. Listening is a crucial skill for early childhood teachers to foster positive relationships, create a sense of belonging, understand identity, acknowledge children and families with special needs, make visible diverse practices, and advocate for inclusive practice. We can achieve this through deep listening. Thank you for listening to my presentation.